Hey guys, welcome to the weekly tarot forecast for the Numinous week beginning February the 3rd. I'm Lindsay Mack, and the card that I've pulled for us this week is Awakening, or the Judgment card. So, the Judgment card is the reason for this season. Politically, evolutionarily, collectively, this is the deal. This is the undercurrent of everything that we are collectively going through right now, no matter where you stand in terms of beliefs or whatever. Pluto, which rules the Judgment card, by the way, again, is the reason for the season. So I'm going to start with that. We are, if you don't know this, in currently Pluto and Capricorn. We're moving through that transit. It's many years. I think about 18. Sorry for my astrology geniuses out there. I apologize for not knowing that. We're going to be in Pluto and Capricorn until 2022. And essentially, Pluto and Capricorn is all about removing the old patriarchal way, coming into a different way. In fact, the last time we were in a Pluto and Capricorn was during the American Revolution, around 1776. So this is a really potent time. And again, collectively, politically, economically, socially, everything that we're going through right now reflects that. So where does Judgment come in? Again, Judgment is ruled by the planet Pluto. So everything that Pluto kind of does for us brings up, or rather bringing up the aspects of deep, deep shadow, death, sex, rebirth, like all the big hidden shadow pieces. Kind of get brought up for us in the Judgment card. The Judgment card is really also, or Awakening, which is what we pulled for this week. Again, it's really the card for our times. It's going to be for years, even past when we're out of Pluto and Capricorn. It's going to be really present for us for a really long time. So essentially, here's the deal, and this is how you can use it during your week. Judgment is the invitation to do two things. The first thing is to transmute intentionally, on purpose, any judgments that we're holding against ourselves or another person into love and compassion. That's the first thing. The second thing is to understand that there's no other in this world. There isn't. There isn't. We may think that way, it may look that way, but it's not true. There is no other. Everyone's a mirror, everyone's the same. And the more you're activated and triggered by a mirror, the more important they are for you. The greater the teacher. This is the big shit. This is the Judgment card. This is the card that I would say arguably in the tarot is the hardest. So these are big themes. They're huge triggers. They're big things that everyone's going through right now. So this is your invitation for the week. When you find yourself holding a judgment against another human being, against yourself, you have an opportunity. Now, here's what the Judgment card is not. It is not softness. Well, I think softness is incredibly important, but it's not an impotence. It's not staying kind of silent on your mat in times when it is important to use our voices. But I'll tell you this. What everyone collectively is being invited into right now is not only their victimhood, but also to be separated within themselves and between one person to another. So if you find yourself deeply triggered by another human being and you're walking around with that judgment in your heart, I understand. We're human beings. It's hard not to have that. So I have compassion for you, for myself, for everybody. But if you have that in your heart and you just keep it there, you're not doing your work with it. You're not. It's really important. It's not about your story. It's not about what you're going through. No one's exempt from this. No one gets a free pass. Everybody is working on this. So what we do is we practice having compassion first with ourselves for holding the judgment, and then we can deeply inquire about it. Where's the fear? How can I use this fear? How can it be workable, usable? And if you are lucky enough, and I use that word on purpose, lucky enough to have a conversation face to face with someone who you consider to be an other, they're not going to hear you if you come at it with judgment. There's no possibility for awakening or for having someone consider your opinion if you're not listening. In fact, this is for the people who may consider themselves to be absolutely and completely in the right. The only way to really have compassion for someone who's actively standing for things that you may not agree with on a soul level is to understand they may be coming at it from a place of fear, of delusion, of illness even. So there's no way to change those things unless there's a curiosity and a compassion. This doesn't mean trolling news. This doesn't mean trolling social media. What this means is being awake, present, aware, choosing to keep the eyes open, and choosing when we're having a conversation to let it be an awakening and a consideration. Now, the second piece of this, nobody is different from you. Everyone has a beating heart. Everyone breathes. Period. The ego may make it different. It's not true. And again, this isn't Lindsay and her opinion. This is this card. It's an awakening and an understanding that we're all one person going to the same place. Some people might be more confused than others. So the question is, how do you hold space for such a thing? How can you step up, be of service, be an activist, but also hold a compassion in your heart? Actually be willing to facilitate a change that starts from within. These are big things to think about. So for this week, that's your practice. Every time you're triggered, and most of us should be pretty busy with this. Every time that you're triggered, you're on the mat. It's a homecoming. It's a mindfulness bell. How are you going to relate your compassion to your judgment? I hope you have a beautiful week. Be well. I hope this serves you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.